We're rolling right now. Oh shit. Right now we're rolling. Right now. All right, cool. All right, let's get that out of here. All right. I'm good to go. I'm good to go. All right, cool. All right, here we go. Get the issues out. All right, let's do this. All right. What's going on, everybody? I am Wade Elliott, R&B pop singer, songwriter, and rapper, coming at you with another video this week. Now, today we're going to talk about building ourselves up as a performer, as a frontman in particularly, but this can also go with being a guitar player, your performance of that, even as a drummer, bass player, violinist, anything. Mostly we're going to go towards being more of a lead singer and a frontman, okay? So, let's just jump right into it. Alright, so now being a frontman is not easy, okay? So our great frontmans that we see throughout history, in any genre, whether you're Drake, whether you're Lil Wayne, whether you're from Maroon 5, the Rolling Stones, even your metal singers like Howard Jones from Killswitch, or he was in Killswitch, or any frontman in history that has had their presence on stage and graced us with their performance, okay? Being a frontman is not easy, like I said before. So how these people became so good at being a frontman and captivating us and giving us the best show that they can possibly do by practicing. And also just having courage and confidence to try new things. I mean, these great frontmen and singers didn't become awesome overnight, the ones that we cherish and look up to whenever we went to a show or we watch YouTube videos still and of that performance that we just can't stop watching. They didn't just happen overnight. It's the same thing with our music careers. They're not gonna happen overnight, okay? They work at it, and the best thing to do is to practice either in your bedroom. I've done it in my bathroom before, and even use shows in practice. Try new things. I mean, it's risky, but I mean, that's a lot of time. That's how you find out right then and there if whatever move or with it or everything you're trying to say to get the crowd going, it works right then and there. And that's when you know for a fact that it's going to work or it's not going to work. But then again, that's kind of 50-50 as well, because it depends on who your audience is, who catches you that night. When I was in my cover band, we would play one bar. I do the exact same thing that I did the show. I tried it. It went off, it went great, the audience ate it up and everything, and the next night, same amount of people, well roughly, about half the amount of people, but it was still a lot of people, and it didn't really go for it. They didn't really go for it, and that's fine. I just take into consideration now that when I play at that particular venue, or that particular bar, I don't use that. I kind of refine and kind of do my own thing. It's the same thing when we post our Instagram posts or our videos, when we hashtag certain things, even our YouTube videos, we hashtag certain things to a certain topic. It's the same thing with your audience, because so say these people at this venue, they don't really go for whatever I was saying about the XYZ versus over here I was saying something else. Of course it has to stay on brand. We all have to stay on brand, but maybe I told a joke, in between times, like maybe your guitar player had to mess with a knob, or your team was fixing a fog machine that you just needed for this particular scene on your set, or this particular moment. Before that song started, you have to wait, so you have to kind of improv. Improving is a big thing with being a frontman, because a lot of times you turn around to the person who's behind you, possibly your drummer or keyboardist, and they're like 5 minutes. So now you gotta think of stuff for 5 minutes to kind of come up with material, whether it's talking to a crowd member, or it's maybe cueing your guitar player, going up to him, say, hey man, you think you could solo for a second, or just kind of do something, maybe you and I could freestyle real quick, anything to keep the show going, because the worst thing in my opinion is dead air. When there's dead air and it's just crickets like that, the momentum, it just drops. Your momentum drops, and then you have to work harder to build it back up for everybody to get back on the same level. Granted, sometimes it may be a little easier because drinks have been pumping into everybody, so they're now drunks. But you got to work harder to get back to where you were. Versus if you keep going and going and going, there's no silence. Whether if you're those moments are about the hardest thing that have come to me. But of course, you could also get with your guys, or you can get with your team to kind of, have that in your back pocket in case something does happen. So one of the things that we had when I was in my cover band is that we would have talking people. We have talking person 1, talking person 2, talking person 3. Basically anybody who's doing backup vocals or harmonies with you, those people were in charge of talking to the audience or saying something to kind of keep the conversation going, or to possibly keep the dead air from arising. So if I was taking a drink of water, then the second guy behind me to talk would be next to go up. Now if he had the tune or something, then the guy behind him or the person who was ever assigned would have to do that. So that's kind of how we worked it out. Granted, it wasn't a perfect method, but it was something just in case something happened. We need that extra time to fill the dead air. So you see, also, we're not perfect. Frontmen, we're not perfect, and they're not perfect. So you can see on YouTube all day, singer falls down and breaks his femur or whatever. Everybody falls. Maybe they were trying something new and it really didn't work out for them. And sometimes those moments happen. But a lot of times people forget about them, unless it was unfortunately really, really funny, and you're kind of labeled as that. But let's not even think about that. The thing is, you gotta try new things on stage, and that's the best way to learn, at least in my experience. Learn the best, even at practice. You want to try to, when you're in your practice space or when you're practicing, try to pretend that it's actually a show. Run your sets, run your times, run them like you're playing a show. Hit the timer on your phone, time it, however long your set is, 30 minutes, an hour, 3 hours. Well, 3-hour sets is a little ridiculous, but it does happen. People do play for 3 hours straight. Time the show and then just go for it. Time it, and then if there's something in it that it's going to, that needs a time break, you already have it timed out. And if anything maybe accidentally happens during that practice, you can now calculate that time which goes into it. That's just another little fact there. You could time out your practices, time out your live performance. Of course, things happen, and either you play faster live, which sometimes we do. Drummers, I know sometimes, if they're not playing with a click, they sometimes will play faster, or sometimes if you switch up the tempo last minute, make certain changes, then yeah, things happen. But that's what I'm saying. You gotta practice, and that's how you develop yourself as a frontman. You keep doing it, even if there's shows that it's 5 people in the audience. It's just 5 of y'all on stage, and it's 5 of y'all in the audience. You know what? Who cares? Make that moment, make that performance between those people, make it intimate, and just try new things. That's when you can kind of open up a little bit. You don't have all that pressure, or then again, you might have that pressure. But I say just have fun with it, because that's what music is. That's what performing is. It's all fun, And then maybe you ask somebody, hey, can you record this? Basically, I treat it like a practice almost. You're practicing your live state, your live show. So if y'all have any questions about this, I'd be happy to answer or even talk about it in the comments below. You can also, of course, email me or hit me up on IG. You can come connect me over there and slide into my DMs. I would appreciate that. Also, of course, make sure you subscribe, and ring the bell for more content. Alright, so I appreciate this so much. Again, let's work on practicing. Practice in your office space here. You can go in your bathroom, put on your song or put on a song and just practice those dance moves that you're working on, whatever it is. Just, you gotta keep practicing. Even when this pandemic, when eventually it lifts up and people start playing shows, depending on where you are, hey, you'll be ready, So, once again, I am Wade Elliott, and I appreciate y'all for joining me. I'll see y'all later.